Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Welcome to a brand new episode of the DC Comedy Hour. Let's take a look at what Congressman Matt Gaetz, Republican, said recently. In fact, he tweeted this video because he's expecting the Republicans to take control of Congress in the upcoming 2022 midterm elections. Let's roll the tape and see what Congressman Matt Gaetz had to say. Keep in mind, folks, Matt Gaetz is under federal investigation and is expected to be charged shortly. But let's roll the tape and see what Matt Gaetz, the congressman from Florida, has been saying recently. Let's roll the tape and watch.
We are going to take power after this next election. And when we do, it's going to be the days of Jim Jordan,
President Trump, the leader of the Republican Party,
and Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Q is a patriot,
and Dr. Gosar,
the DOJ is harassing peaceful patriots,
and myself, an armed rebellion against the government. The notion that Republicans are going to take control of the House and we're going to hold hands in the warm spring rain with the Democrats and legislate is ludicrous.
In the meantime, folks, President Biden has been busy. Here's a video featuring President Biden where the president highlights that we're going to reinvest in our country and our people, reclaim our leadership, and create millions of jobs by building a better America. Let's roll the tape and watch.
The better part of the 20th century, we led the world by a significant margin in our willingness to invest in ourselves. We invested in our infrastructure. We invested in research and development. In our roads, highways, bridges, ports, airports, the arteries of the nation allow commerce to function smoothly and move swiftly. And we invested in our people. We gave opportunity. We're among the first to provide access to universal education and high school education at the beginning of the 20th century, which put us in the forefront of leading the rest of the world. We invested to win the space race, and we won it. We led the world in research and development, led the creation of the internet. But we know that China and the rest of the world are catching up, and in some respects, actually moving beyond us. We're also going to reinvest in our country and our people to reclaim our leadership, to create millions of jobs by building a better America with the best infrastructure in the world.
Now, in the meantime, folks, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was specifically asked if her staffers were not feeling safe because of lawmakers like Congressman Lauren Boebert, the Republican from Colorado. She said this, I quote, "I'll never forgive former President of the United States and his lackeys and his bullies that he sent to the Capitol." And by the way, I have done another video where I featured Lauren Boebert allegedly making an apology, but then she later backtracked because she'd had a not very nice conversation with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Let's roll the tape and see what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had to say. Let's watch.
I'll never forgive former President of the United States and his lackeys and his bullies that he sent to the Capitol for the trauma that was exerted on our staff. These are largely younger people who come with idealism to work in the Capitol on either side of the aisle and whatever it is.
And folks, in the meantime, Congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat from New York, said that Lauren Boebert needs to face consequences, I quote, for her racism and flagrant bigotry. And she called on leadership to treat the hallowed halls of this Capitol with the bare respect that any corporate HR office would do. Let's roll the tape and see what Congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had to say.
So many women will have their hijabs ripped off on public transit because of the example that Leader McCarthy and the Republican caucus is setting right now. We have a responsibility to show this country that bigotry is unacceptable and to treat the hallowed halls of this Capitol with the bare respect that any corporate HR office would do anywhere else in this country. This shouldn't be about politics. This shouldn't be about Democrat or Republican. This should be about what is completely unacceptable in any context anywhere in this country. Representative Boebert, whatever her intentions may be for her racism and flagrant bigotry, needs to experience the consequence for her actions.
And there are other Democrats who are openly speaking out against certain radical Republicans. Here's Democrat Congress Chair Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat from New York, who said, "You cannot hand the keys of the majority over to folks like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert." Let's roll the tape and see what Hakeem Jeffries had to say. Let's watch.
We have to govern, we have to message,
then we have to campaign aggressively, like the livelihood of the American people depends on it, because it absolutely does. And you can't hand the keys of the majority over to folks like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert. They will be running the House of Representatives, and they will not have the best interests of everyday Americans at heart.
And folks, there's no question the world is changing around us, not just as far as the resurgence of the Omicron variant is concerned, but also things are happening around the globe that will quite frankly surprise you. Let's first take a look at Dr. Anthony Fauci on holiday gathering mitigation recommendations for COVID. He said, I quote, people should essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence that they are vaccinated. So what Dr. Fauci is saying is if someone comes home for the holidays, you basically require evidence that they are vaccinated. Let me know in the comment section below whether you agree or disagree. Let's roll the tape and hear from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Let's watch.
People should, if they invite people over their home, essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence that they are vaccinated or give their honest and good faith word that they've been vaccinated.
And I did mention earlier that we'll get some surprising news from different parts of the world. New Zealand has announced a plan to ban all sales of cigarettes in the country. The country will actually start to phase out cigarette sales in 2023. And in 2023, anyone under the age of 15 will be barred from buying cigarettes for life. And at some point, cigarette sales will be eliminated completely. Yup, that's right. Let's roll the tape and check out this segment from the recount. Let's watch.
New Zealand plans to ban cigarettes in a bid to phase out smoking. The nation says anyone born after 2008 will not be able to buy cigarettes or tobacco products as part of a sweeping crackdown from the health ministry. This law will go into effect next year.
And speaking of the recount, folks, the recount also reported that the Kellogg company rejected a contract proposal from 1,400 employees in 4 states across the country and essentially said, hey, you guys can remain on strike. Guess what we're going to do? Permanently replace you. Yup, folks, this is what is happening as employers and employees go head to head and battle it out in the United States of America. Let's roll the tape and see what Kellogg and company did to employees who remained on strike for several months. I'm talking 1,400 employees in 4 states. Kellogg's plan, permanently replace them. Let's roll the tape and watch this segment from the recount.
Kellogg's, this is really not
great.
Not at all. Kellogg's employees have rejected a contract proposal offering 3% annual raises, with 1,400 workers at the company's 4 U.S. cereal plants choosing to remain on strike. The BCT GM union said on Tuesday that an overwhelming majority of workers voted down the 5-year offer. The union and Kellogg's have been stuck at the bargaining table for more than a year. With talks at an impasse, workers have been on strike since October 5th at plants in Michigan, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. So what is Kellogg's going to do? Permanently replace them. A spokesperson for the company said, quote, interest in the permanent replacement roles has been strong at all 4 plants as expected. We expect some of the new hires to start with the company very soon. Kellogg's also said there was no further bargaining scheduled, and it had no plans to meet with the union.
So that's where we stand, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. This right here is my Twitter feed. Please follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.